They erased his name from the order. A single Templar knight claimed he touched the Grail itself. Not a legend. Not a myth. A mission record. The last time he was seen, he rode into the desert alone, carrying a relic the church denies exists. No body. No grave. No explanation. Only one sentence left behind in a coded manuscript. The Grail is not a cup, it is a vow. After that, he vanished. Tonight, we uncover the Templar who found the Grail, and was never meant to return. The document was never meant to be opened. Deep inside the Vatican's secret archives, behind layers of restricted catalogue numbers and redacted names, Dr. Eleanor Voss found a reference that did not belong. She noticed it because of its elegance: a clean hand, precise Latin, and a symbol etched into the margin, a Templar cross distorted by geometry, not theology. Eleanor was not a treasure hunter. She was a historian of symbols, the kind of woman whose beauty disarmed people long before her intelligence exposed them. Her specialty was forgotten code systems used by medieval orders, especially those officially declared extinct. The line that stopped her breath was short. Rediet cum gradually. Non rediet ipse. He returned with the Grail. He himself did not return. No burial record followed. No trial. No accusation of heresy. The name of the knight was scratched out so thoroughly it scarred the parchment itself, as if someone had tried to erase a man from history, not ink from paper. Eleanor checked the date. 1308. 1 year after the mass arrest of the Knights Templar. That alone was impossible. According to official church history, no Templar missions existed after 1307. Yet this entry was not forged. The ink chemistry, the vellum, the handwriting, all were authentic. And then she saw the final mark. A sequence of geometric ratios drawn faintly beneath the text, invisible unless viewed from an angle. Not a prayer. Not a map. A vow. The same ratios later echoed in cathedral floors across Europe, and in sketches attributed centuries later to Leonardo da Vinci. Eleanor closed the document slowly, because she understood something terrifying. This record wasn't describing the past. It was waiting. Eleanor's fingers trembled as she traced the faint geometric ratios with a magnifying glass. They weren't a map, nor a prayer. They were a code, one that danced on the edge of logic and legend. Every line, every arc, hinted at a location, or a truth the church never wanted known. Her heartbeat quickened. Whoever wrote this wasn't leaving instructions for historians. They were leaving a trail for the worthy, or the reckless. Eleanor whispered to herself, "This isn't about a cup. It's about the vow. The Grail itself isn't a relic. It's a secret carried in shadow." She cross-referenced the symbols with old manuscripts she had studied, some tucked away in private European collections. Patterns emerged, the same sequences hidden in Leonardo da Vinci's sketches, in the lines of Gothic cathedral floors, even in medieval coins long thought ordinary. Suddenly, a knock echoed through the empty archive. Eleanor froze. Security rarely came this far. No one should have known she was there. A shiver ran down her spine. She was being followed. Heart racing, she copied the code into her notebook. Each stroke felt like unlocking a door centuries old. Every mark whispered promises and warnings simultaneously. Find it, if you dare. But beware, some doors should never be opened. Outside, the streets of Rome were quiet. Too quiet. And Eleanor knew one truth that no legend, no history book, could teach. Once you touch the Grail's trail, you become part of the story, and the story doesn't let go. By dawn, Eleanor was on a plane to southern France. Her mind raced as fast as the engines above. Every city, Every ruin she visited had whispers of the knight who vanished with the Grail. They were fleeting, almost absurd. A carved mark in a chapel doorway, a faded fresco in a forgotten monastery, a medieval manuscript with a single line underlined in crimson ink: "He rides where shadows hide the light." Each clue was real. Each was legend. And each led her closer to a danger centuries in the making. She visited the ruins of the Château de Gisors, a fortress rumored to have housed Templar secrets. The air was thick with centuries-old dust and mystery. Eleanor traced her fingers over stones carved with cryptic emblems, feeling a pulse beneath the cold surface, as if the fortress itself was alive with secrets. The more she uncovered, the more the past seemed to merge with the present. Knights who should have been long gone left traces that still breathed through Europe: coded letters, hidden chambers, tunnels under churches, all pointing to a mission never completed. And then came the warning, written in the margin of a manuscript she had bought from a private collector. Stop! Some truths burn as they reveal themselves. Eleanor smiled, a thrill racing through her veins. That was exactly why she could never stop. Every step brought her closer to the vanished knight's path, and deeper into a mystery that had eluded historians, kings, and even the church itself. Eleanor's discoveries were not welcome by everyone. Hidden in the margins of a 14th century codex, she found references to a faction within the Templar order itself, knights who did not vanish but remained loyal to power, not truth. These insiders had seen the Grail, had handled its secret, and had betrayed the vow for wealth, influence, and survival. Historical records hint at arrests that never happened, trials that were never recorded, and names that vanish from parchment without a trace. One Templar chronicler wrote cryptically, "The Grail passes from hand to hand, but some hands are poisoned." Eleanor traced the pattern through hidden tunnels in Paris, beneath churches that still held the whispers of centuries. In the stone walls, she found marks known only to the original knights, symbols signaling safe passage, danger, and sometimes death. She knew instinctively that following them meant stepping into a game played long before her birth, a game that didn't forgive mistakes. Using medieval maps cross-referenced with satellite imagery, Eleanor realized the pattern led to places officially erased from history: abbeys burned and rebuilt, monasteries dissolved, villages that existed on no map but persisted in legends. Each location held a fragment of the Grail's trail, a piece of the vow that could destroy her credibility or her life. And then she understood why her predecessor had disappeared. The knight she sought hadn't merely vanished, he had been silenced, deliberately removed from history, because some secrets are too dangerous for the world to know. Her pulse quickened. The betrayal wasn't only centuries old, it was alive, waiting for those who dared uncover it. She touched a fresco depicting the last known Templar mission in France, tracing her finger over the painted faces, imagining the knight's silent warnings. "Someone is watching me," she thought, her breath catching. The deeper she went, the more she felt the past pressing down on the present, and the more the line blurred between legend and reality. Every step forward was an invitation, not just to knowledge, but to peril. The Grail wasn't just a relic, it was a vow, a test, and a trap, and Eleanor had just crossed the threshold. Eleanor had chased whispers across Europe, but the final trail led her somewhere that shouldn't exist. It wasn't on any map, no satellite could detect it, and no historian dared mention it. Yet every clue, from coded manuscripts to Leonardo sketches, converged on a single point: a remote valley in the Pyrenees, shielded by cliffs and centuries of silence. She arrived at dusk. The mountains rose like stone sentinels, casting shadows that seemed to move with intent. The wind carried the scent of pine, wet stone, and something older, something not yet named in history books. Her heart pounded. Every step toward the valley floor felt like stepping through time itself. Legend told of a knight who vanished here, leaving behind nothing but whispers of his vow. Fact suggested the same. Medieval records mentioned disappearances, coded warnings, and tunnels beneath monasteries that were later destroyed by fire. Eleanor knew that somewhere beneath her feet lay the secret path, a labyrinth meant to guard the Grail, or perhaps to trap those who sought it. She found the entrance by noticing irregularities in the rock, small carvings invisible from the path above, geometric patterns matching the code in the Vatican manuscript. A faint glow of moss-covered symbols lit the way, as if centuries of guardians had waited for someone worthy to arrive. Inside, the air was cold, almost alive. Her footsteps echoed against stone walls etched with warnings in old Templar cipher. She traced them with trembling fingers, recognizing names erased from history, vows broken and kept, the lineage of those who dared touch the Grail. And then she saw it, not the Grail itself, but a monumental clue, a carved inscription in multiple languages, a message meant to be read by those who could decipher it. The Grail is carried, not possessed. He who seeks it carries both the blessing and the curse. Eleanor realized the full weight of her discovery. The night hadn't disappeared by chance. The Grail's trail had been a living maze, testing faith, courage, and intellect. And now she was inside it, alone, with only her wits, her courage, and the whispers of history guiding her forward. Somewhere in the shadows, she felt eyes, invisible, watching, waiting. She was not the first to enter. She would not be the last. But she could very well be the last to leave, if she didn't respect the vow. Eleanor traced the ancient inscriptions with reverent fingers, deciphering one line at a time. Each symbol, each word, revealed not a chalice of gold, but a vow carried across centuries. The Grail, she realized, was not an object to possess. It was a commitment, a living secret entrusted to those brave enough to guard it. Her mind raced. History, as written by kings and popes, had erased the true story. Records had been manipulated, names scratched from ledgers, missions declared failures that were never attempted. She understood. The knight who vanished, the one chronicled in fragmented manuscripts, had become the Grail's guardian, and in doing so, had been deleted from existence. Every step she took deeper into the labyrinth reinforced the danger. The shadows moved strangely, as if the stone walls themselves were watching. The code she followed whispered warnings, and knowledge carries the burden. Those who touch it may not return. Eleanor realized she was not just tracing history, she was activating it. The Grail's legacy was alive, shaped by those who understood it. And powerful forces, unseen yet tangible, were determined that the secret remain buried. A sudden chill ran down her spine. The corridors seemed narrower, the air heavier. Footsteps echoed where none should have been. Someone, or something, was following, unseen but intent. The betrayal she had uncovered within the Order centuries ago was no longer a story. It was manifest. Eleanor whispered to herself, a shiver of both thrill and fear. Ere to hold the Grail's secret is to dance with the past, and the past never forgets. She pressed forward, knowing that beyond this point, there would be no turning back. The line between myth and reality had vanished, and the Grail's truth demanded a price. She could feel it in her bones. History was alive, watching, and ready to claim the unworthy. Every pulse, every breath reminded her, the Grail was not hidden to protect it, but to protect the world from knowing it. And now, she was dangerously close to touching a truth that powerful men, and perhaps forces beyond men, had sworn to erase forever. Eleanor reached the heart of the hidden chamber, a place untouched by time. The walls shimmered with faint inscriptions, telling stories of knights, vows, and sacrifices long erased from history. Every symbol pulsed like a heartbeat, as if the Grail itself had awareness. She understood, finally, what the night had meant. The Grail was not a cup, not a relic. It was a vow carried across lifetimes, a responsibility that demanded vigilance, secrecy, and courage. Those who possessed its truth were no longer merely humans. They became keepers of a living legacy. A sudden movement in the shadows startled her. Someone, or something, was observing. The air tightened, the silence pressing against her chest. Eleanor felt the centuries of vigilance, betrayal, and devotion coiling around her. And then, as quickly as it began, it was gone. No figure, no trace. Only the inscription glowed faintly, as if acknowledging her presence, then faded. Her notebook, the codes, even her digital devices flickered, records disappearing before her eyes. Eleanor stepped back. The realization hit with terrifying clarity. To know the Grail is to vanish from ordinary history. Legends weren't just stories, they were warnings. She had become part of the continuum, a thread woven into a secret that could never fully be revealed. Outside, the world remained unaware. Historians would continue to search, scholars to debate, yet no one would find what she now carried, the truth that is hidden in plain sight, the vow that walks among the living, and the knowledge that some secrets are too powerful to ever be claimed outright. Her final entry, scribbled on a fragment of vellum before she disappeared from the world, read simply, "The Grail still walks among us." And with that, she was gone, leaving only questions, legends, and a tantalizing mystery that would ignite curiosity for centuries to come.